Welcome to The Explainer. As philosophy students, you already get that the deepest, most complex truths of human existence, they're rarely captured in dry lectures. No, they're found in vivid imagery and stories. Today, we're going to walk together through a graphic novel-style parable. It's just the story of a single seed, but man, it brilliantly captures that deep philosophical tension we all wrestle with, the pull between resting and striving, between comfortable illusion and harsh reality. Come on, let's step into this narrative.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Before we go any further, I want you to stop and honestly evaluate your own spiritual state against the story we're about to unfold. Deep down in your own philosophical journey, are you actually resting or are you truly striving? Just keep your answer in the back of your mind as we begin.
Right. So our story begins by illustrating a classic tension in Goethean philosophy. Picture a lush, beautiful valley where the sun literally never sets. On one side, you've got the Gardens of Armida. It's an environment defined by manicured warmth, unearned peace, and restful satisfaction. The spirits here just recline in the soft moss, totally lulled by comfortable illusions. But then, contrast that with the stark, dark reality of the Seventh Solitude, a place defined entirely by cold, silence, and ultimately metamorphosis. Those spirits softly resting in that lush, mossy warmth, they really believe they found paradise. But they are completely blind to a tragic truth. That unearned peace is actually the tomb of the striving spirit. But imagine being one specific seed stuck in that endless daylight. This seed felt the absolute stagnation of that manicured warmth. It realized that just sitting there, remaining safe and comfortable, that wasn't peace. No, that was a spiritual death sentence.
So what does it do? The seed makes a radical, terrifying choice. It deliberately abandons the comfortable illusions of the garden, leaving that warmth behind to bury itself deep in the dark soil of the Seventh Solitude. Down there, totally stripped of the sun, surrounded only by the cold and the silence, the seed begins a painful but absolutely necessary metamorphosis.
And this brilliantly illustrates how true spiritual growth actually works. It demands immense pressure. The seed just waited in that dark soil, letting the pressure of its own potential build and build until it physically and spiritually couldn't contain it anymore. Finally, under the weight of all that striving, its seed coat cracked. That painful cracking open, that was the only way to begin the path toward the chorus mysticus, the mystic path singing of a world behind the veil, drawing the spirit upward. With its shell finally broken, the striving spirit pushed up, and that first green shoot broke back through the dark soil, right into the light. Let's move on and see how this builds, because breaking into the light is definitely not the end of the journey. Actually, it's the start of a massive philosophical dilemma. As the plant emerges, it finds itself standing at a vital crossroads, caught between two very different songs. Looking upward toward the heavens, the plant hears the first song. This is the melody of the old mystics, echoing the call of the eternal feminine, promising a metaphysical rescue that draws the spirit constantly upward and on. It sings of a world behind the veil, trying to pull the spirit away from the dirt of the material earth. To follow this path is to seek the heights. It takes the pain, the mud, the wind of your earthly struggle, and it wraps the whole thing in a transcendent purpose. It tells you that true meaning exists far above the dirt, up there in the transcendent clouds. Now, what's really interesting here is what happens next. Just as the plant is listening to the heavens, a sudden wind of convalescence, a healing, earthly breeze, blows through its leaves. And riding on that wind is a very different chorus, the song of the daredevils of the spirit. And unlike the old mystics, these daredevils are absolutely not pointing toward the cloud. Instead, they point downward, right to the immediate world around them. They find profound meaning in the ripple on the water and the beauty of the mask. Rather than desperately searching for some backstage pass to the universe, they choose to worship the curtain itself. They adore the material world exactly as it is, without any need to escape it. Which brings us to a powerful, fundamentally Nietzschean concept, joyful superficiality. It's a cleaner devotion, one that completely rejects the world behind the veil, because it doesn't need a heaven to justify the struggle. It finds its ultimate devotion entirely on the surface of reality, embracing the chaos and immediate truth of existence. So the crucial point is this. By braving the dark soil, the Seventh Solitude has granted the spirit the privilege of an ultimate choice. Will you seek a transcendent rescue, constantly looking to the heights of heaven to justify your existence? Or will you embrace a deeper devotion, finding your meaning right here, in the beauty of the mask, on the very surface of the earth? And so, my fellow students of philosophy, having journeyed from the unearned peace of the garden, through the painful cracking in the dark soil, to this ultimate crossroads, I turn the question over to you. As you continue to strive, as your own potential builds, which song will your spirit follow? Keep striving, keep questioning, and I'll catch you in our next explainer.